This TV event was all about scoring huge sums of money, but things turned deadly real quick, resulting in 73 people dead. What began as a chance to win life-changing money on a TV show ended in disaster, with 73 people losing their lives in a tragic stampede. People shoving and pushing, the arena gates giving way, desperate fans trampling over each other. It really is a sad tale of hope, entertainment, and tragedy. In 2006, the influential Filipino variety game show Wowowee promised cash prizes to its mostly financially struggling viewers. Sadly, this ended up as a catastrophic event in what was then called the ULTRA, which resulted in fatalities and left many questioning the true responsibilities of mass media. Now, if you're not from the Philippines, it could be hard to understand how influential a game show like Wowowee can be. But back in 2006, the poverty situation in the Philippines was serious. During this time, 26.6% of the Philippine population were living below the poverty line, which means a huge amount of people were struggling to meet basic needs like food, shelter, or even just a safe place to sleep. For many in that kind of situation, hope wasn't even a thing. This is where noontime variety programming comes in. In the Philippines, noontime television is more than just a programming block. It's basically a cultural institution. They air daily, and these shows provide entertainment that crosses social and economic boundaries, bonding families over lunch and promising life-changing prizes. So for many Filipinos who are strapped for cash, these shows aren't just for entertainment. They're also a space for a little bit of hope. Seeing what these shows can do and how much they can give away, it's easy to see how avid viewers see being on the shows as a rare chance to escape the grips of poverty. So shows like Itbulaga and Wowowee not just provide fun, but also a sense of escapism, or like a way out to escape the really tough lives that a lot of the audiences were living. Imagine, the minimum wage in 2006 was about 350 pesos. That's around like $6. So if you're lucky enough to just be in these noontime TV audiences, getting to come down from the bleachers gets you a chance to win around like 5,000 pesos, which is what, $85? Which is a far cry from 6, and that's just on the low end. That's how Wowowee, a noontime program that started in 2005, was able to establish itself as the go-to program that provides joy with its constant stream of cash prizes. So each episode, several lucky Filipinos will get a chance to play games, share the story of their struggles, and have a shot at winning big cash prizes, sometimes even up to 1 million pesos. You can even win a car, a house, your own business, and even your very own jacket.
Ikaw! Bigyan ka ng jacket!
Of course, given the situations that I explained, this really widened the show's appeal. Its impressive ratings positioned it as a real force on Philippine TV. So it was very easy to see that Willie, the host of the show, was kind of being shaped as this answer or the messenger that really will provide solutions to a lot of the viewers' financial problems. On February 4, 2006, the show was set to air their live anniversary episode. And instead of doing it in their home studio with a max capacity of around 5,000 people, they invited the Wowowee fans to a party at the Phil Sports Arena, formerly called the ULTRA. Of course, the heavy promotion leading up to this episode was the promise of a really fun time, but also a chance to win life-changing sums of money. And whoa, an estimated 30,000 people gathered outside the arena. Many of these people camped overnight, clinging onto the hope of gaining entry so that they can have a shot at playing these games. So according to the investigation of the task force that the Philippine government formed after the incident, all of these people wanted to be part of the Pera o Bayong segment of the show. And if I remember correctly, it's the segment in the show that promises like prizes from like 10,000 to up to 50,000. Some few things that stood out to me reading the findings of the investigation was that the capacity of the stadium was just as around 19,000 people, but there were 30,000 people wanting to get in. And also, the Pera o Bayong segment only lets like a couple of hundred people play, I think. Maybe 200, 300 players? More details from the investigation stated that when one of the show's staff told the crowd gathered at the gate that only the first 300 people would get to play, basically, all hell broke loose. So just imagine, this announcement led a lot of the people from the outside queue to push their way to the front, where the queue was already very, very jam-packed. Because yeah, they were all just hoping to squeeze themselves in and be part of the 300. To manage the surge of people attempting to get in, a decision was made to just close the gates. But the combination of the rush of the people and the steep incline of the entrance area resulted in people in the front just tripping and falling, causing the gate to give way. And ultimately, this resulted in a crowd crush that resulted in most of the fatalities and injuries. The crush killed 73 people and injured around 800 more. The majority of the casualties were young, middle-aged women, but a lot of them were also elderly people. ABS-CBN, Wowowee's home network at the time, temporarily canceled the show and postponed the program's anniversary presentation. The sheer scale of this tragedy highlighted the extreme measures that people would sometimes go through because of their dire economic situations. The incident sparked a nationwide debate on safety standards and the ethical responsibility of TV networks when it comes to crowd management. The home network actually faced a lot of scrutiny and legal challenges for what many considered preventable chaos, that in their view was driven by poor planning and inadequate safety measures. The disaster also started a conversation about the media's role in social welfare and the ethical obligations of networks to protect their audiences. But did this tragedy leave a lasting imprint on Philippine history and Philippine media? What we know is that networks did implement stricter crowd control measures and revamped regulations for organizing large public events. The mother network, ABS-CBN, also started a foundation specifically to fund the affected people in terms of rebuilding their lives because of the incident. And legally as well, the host of the show, Willie, was actually absolved of any responsibility for the incident. As for the show, Wowowee actually ran for another 4 years on ABS-CBN. For me, this tragic moment is kind of like a reminder of how impactful and how significant the media's role is in our lives, especially in Filipino culture where noontime TV is a very, very important part of our social fabric. And actually did some Googling, and economic inequality is still a problem in the Philippines, even if the poverty incidence rate has sunk to just 16% now. But maybe that number is reflective of the current vibe when I watch Noontimes today, because it feels like there's less emphasis on like giving away money. And today, when you see how Itbulaga is now, and of course the juggernaut that It's Showtime has become, it's really just more about fun and community, and the games and the cash prizes are just kind of extra add-ons now. Life-changing sums of money are not the main attraction anymore, I feel. So let's just hope that, today, whether we're producers or viewers, we know the responsibility and we know the power of media, the power and the influence of content, because we live now in this space where we can create content anytime we like and we can watch content anytime we want. That is very serious. So I hope all of us, whether we're in the Philippines or all over the world, we just have to be able to understand the responsibility that comes with setting up a camera and performing for an audience. And that was the video. Thank you very much. If you have made it this far, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have so much more content coming up. And if you're curious about anything, if you have questions about this video, let us know in the comments. Or if you have any ideas or if there are any other topics that you want us to tackle, again, you can leave it in the comments down below. But right now, I encourage you to click that subscribe button and we'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.